Hello, and welcome to the Alomera Island project. We're really glad to have you here with us. Our office is more than just a place to work, it's where friendships form, ideas come to life, and achievements are celebrated. As you embark on this journey, remember that agreements and rules are the foundation of our collaborative environment, ensuring a smooth and respectful workplace for all. This office familiarization guide is here to help you get comfy and acquainted with our space, so you can navigate with ease, honor the agreements, and focus on what you do best. Let's embark on this journey together. This presentation focuses on essential aspects to help you grasp the emergency response procedures and the provision of medical care. Furthermore, we'll shed light on interesting guidelines concerning internal communication and document control. As we wrap up this familiarization, we'll also address safety requirements that pertain both to accessing the site and our office environment. Please take a good look at the safety and emergency evacuation map for the Yangda Nool Abu Dhabi office, located on the 19th floor of the Business Avenue Tower. In case of fire, or any other emergency that requires evacuation, follow the green arrows, as shown on the map, which lead to one of the two emergency staircases. Do not use the elevator. Remind yourself to close all windows and doors to slow down the spread of smoke and limit the available amount of oxygen. The last person exiting the office must turn off all lights and lock the front door to indicate that the office is clear and to avoid people returning to the empty office. Remind yourself to keep this evacuation routes free of trip hazards. Walk out in an orderly manner, don't run. In case of smoke, stay as low as possible, to avoid inhalation of toxic fumes. Both staircases will lead you to the ground floor of the building, and further to our dedicated muster point. A copy of the evacuation map is also posted around the office. Take a moment to have a closer look at this emergency evacuation map, and memorize the location of the staircases, the fire extinguishers, the location of the first aid kit, and so on. Note that exit signs are also attached to the ceiling, for visual guidance. The muster point, or assembly point, in case of office evacuation, will be as shown on this slide. Once you come down via the staircase and arrive at the ground floor, please exit the building and proceed to the muster point, in front of the office, nearby the intersection. It is important to gather at this muster point so an exact head count can be done. Keep in mind that, if you do not report at the muster point, a rescue team might have to enter the building in order to find you, putting themselves at risk, because you did not show up. As for emergency preparedness, we will provide you the duty phone number. The duty manager will be available at all times. We recommend you to verify if the duty phone number is mentioned in your telephone contact list, so you are able to request for emergency assistance at any time. We have also listed up the emergency contact phone numbers. In case you need the police, dial 999. If you need an ambulance, dial 998, and in case of fire, dial 997. These emergency numbers are also posted in our office. Yangda Nool has also teamed up with A2LZCO, short for International SOS. Via email, they provide us with the most recent updates concerning health and security for our locations worldwide. If you have the SOS app installed on your phone, you will also receive health and security alert notifications. In order to get access to these notifications, you will have to request the membership number from our Yangda Nool QHSSEE colleagues. The SOS website and the information they provide can be accessed via Yangda Nool Connect. For work-related medical care, we have set up a contract with NMC, Specialty Hospital, located close to the office. The hospital is about 7 minutes away by car. For your ease, we have made a QR code that can be scanned, in order to show the location of the hospital on Google Maps. This QR code is also posted in our office. Medical costs related to work-related incidents will be covered by the employer. Costs related to non-work-related medical complaints must be borne by the employee. You can request access to the project server by sending an email to Secretariat HR. Include in your email the project manager to obtain approval. General access rights for expatriate staff are included in the context role, JDN staff. This role is applicable for all staff members with the exception for functions with more confidential responsibilities such as the finance department and the HR department. In case of doubt which context role is applicable for a specific function, please contact the quality department. Setting up your computer is an essential part of integrating into our office environment. Before you can get started, you need to connect to the office network using the provided credentials to access shared resources and files. On our server, you can find a folder containing the various internal memos that are distributed on the project. The project memos cover a variety of internal information and guidelines, ranging from accessing shared resources on the server, managing telephone contacts, creating a professional email signature, how to connect to printers, as well as a parking retribution guide of Abu Dhabi. Project memos can be found on the server and are distributed via email. In order that all project employees can make optimal use of the existing steady server structure, everybody is expected to comply with the following guidelines. Make sure that all project-related work is always stored on the server. Avoid keeping important project documents or files on your local desktop or personal devices. This practice ensures centralized access, version control, and data security. If you're unsure about where to place specific documents within the server structure, reach out to a member of the quality team. They can provide guidance on the appropriate directories or folders for different types of files. This ensures that documents are stored in a logical and organized manner. Refrain from creating new folders or shortcuts to folders within the server structure without proper authorization. Uncontrolled growth of folders can lead to confusion, redundant data, and difficulties in locating files. Stick to the existing folder structure to maintain order and efficiency. Follow the established naming conventions for files and folders. Consistent naming practices make it easier for team members to identify, locate, and comprehend the content of various files, enhancing efficiency. Periodically review the contents of the server structure to identify and remove obsolete or irrelevant files. This practice prevents clutter and ensures that only relevant and current documents are stored on the server. In order to ensure that all document numbers follow the project's defined numbering system, all document numbers shall be requested by email to Document Control, with a reference to the document title and document scope. All the documentation that is created on the project will be registered in the Master Document Register. This register contains all deliverables to be sent to the client as well as the internal documents. The document controller is in charge of keeping this document up to date. If you already know where you intend to file the document, you should include this information when requesting a document number from the document controller. In order to know where to file the various records generated in the project, please consult Project Records and Documents Register, which lists documents and records that are required, including their filing location.
Smoking is prohibited inside the office building. As per Yangdhanul policy, it is only allowed during breaks in open air. It is also prohibited in all types of vehicles. We want to remind you that smoking will increase the risk of lung cancer. If personnel will visit a worksite, personnel protective equipment will be required. In case you do not have your own Yangdhanul PPE with you, you can request it from our HSE department and receive it at the office. Yangdhanul staff is expected to bring their own Yangdhanul PPE to the project. Standard Yangdhanul PPE consists of a helmet, high-visibility clothing, long trousers, and safety shoes. Additional PPE may be required, depending on your job, based on a risk assessment and on the PPE matrix.
We want to check if all Yangdhanul personnel have already done the HSE induction e-learning. The e-learning for Yangdhanul personnel consists of 6 modules, which explain our corporate policies and highlight all safety precautions for certain critical operations. Depending on your job, you may have to do 2 additional induction modules. For personnel working only on shore, you have to follow the extra shore module. Personnel working in a marine environment will have to follow the extra marine module. If you have not done it yet, you will have to do it before commencement of your job. Staff can do this on their assigned computer using their Yangdanul email address, while crew can do it on board, on a dedicated computer. If you are unable to do this, you should mention it to your direct supervisor, so we can source another solution. For subcontractors, a specific induction video is available that has to be followed by all subcontractor personnel. JDN staff, responsible for the supervision of operations that are subcontracted to third parties, are expected to make sure the aforementioned induction has been completed upfront. More information can be requested to the Project HSE advisor. Before going to site, all personnel will also have to complete an extra Project HSE induction. Each induction is linked to a questionnaire to test the participants' retained knowledge of the provided information and instructions. We expect the following practices to be implemented by all employees or visitors. Help us maintain a clean environment by properly segregating waste into different bins for recycling and disposal. This simple step contributes to a sustainable workplace. Let's reduce paper waste by reusing single-sided sheets for notes or drafts. This small effort can make a big difference in minimizing our ecological footprint of an office environment. Dispose of plastic bottles responsibly in designated recycling bins. By recycling, we're promoting a greener and healthier workplace. Remember to uphold personal cleanliness and maintain a professional appearance for a positive work environment. Keep your workspace organized and clutter-free, promoting efficiency and a visually pleasing atmosphere. Everybody is kindly requested to contribute to a pleasant restroom experience for all by following simple personal hygiene guidelines: wash hands thoroughly, dispose of waste properly, and leave the space as you'd like to find it. We navigate an era of increasing digital interconnectedness, however, it's important to recognize that physical security measures remain just as crucial. A clean desk policy is not merely a matter of aesthetics or organization. It is a fundamental pillar of our overall data security strategy. By maintaining tidy and clutter-free workspaces, we actively contribute to the protection of sensitive information and uphold the confidentiality of our operations. When leaving your desk, ensure to lock your laptop.
The main risk which can be encountered in the office is personal injury. Fall, trip, and slip hazards can be avoided by general housekeeping, as a good practice. Do not place your backpack on walkways, and avoid loose cables as much as possible. Pay attention for wet floors while walking inside the office. Remind yourself to maintain an ergonomic sitting posture while working at your desk. This will avoid tension and pain in your muscles. Apply the 30-30 rule, which means to take a short break of 30 seconds, to move around, or to stretch your muscles, after every 30 minutes of work. Manual handling can also be a hazard, by means of lifting heavy, bulky, or oversized materials. Paper boxes or 5-gallon water bottles are examples of these heavy loads. Extra attention should be paid while using the shredder in combination with wearing a tie. Injuries caused by paper cuts, hot surfaces, staples, etc. can also occur at the office. If this happens, ask for the first aiders to help you out. Correct use of the stepladder, while working overhead, should be applied. Always maintain 3 points of contact. Dim your voice while having a conversation with your colleagues. If you receive a call, try to refrain from calling inside the office. In case you witness an incident, or additional hazards arise during your activities, make sure to report them at your direct supervisor or HSE colleague.
One of the most common yet potentially dangerous oversights is overloading electrical sockets. To mitigate this risk, refrain from plugging too many devices into a single socket. Instead, distribute the load across multiple sockets and utilize power strips equipped with surge protectors where necessary. By doing so, not only do we reduce the likelihood of short circuits and fires, but we also shield our valuable equipment from potential damage caused by sudden power fluctuations.
We thank you for completing this office familiarization, and wish you a nice and safe work experience within our office.